Suspect Tyler Robinson's expected to appear in court virtually. CBS's Katrina Kaufman on some of the new revelations.
Some information has come to light through these Discord chats that journalists have obtained. In one, he had said, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." And then in another chat he had written, "I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thank you for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything."
A judge has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in New York State's case over the killing of the United Healthcare CEO, but the state's second-degree murder charge stands. Members of Congress have questions about the Epstein files.
Patel praised the Trump administration.
This administration, at the direction of President Trump, has done more to turn over all the credible information we are legally able to do so.
And placed blame on the original federal probe for its mistakes.
I'm here to testify that the original sin in the Epstein case was the way it was initially brought.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin asked Patel if he directed more than 1,000 agents to review the file and
flag any records in which President Trump was named.
Patel said that reporting is baseless. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Tributes have been pouring in since word came of the death of Robert Redford, the Oscar-winning actor and director.
Boy, what is it with you people? You think not getting caught in a lie is the same thing as telling the truth?
3 Days of the Condor was one of several major movies for Redford in the 1970s. He was 89 years old. CBS's Jolene Kent on what's emerging about the deal to keep Tik Tok operating in the U.S.
According to sources, the structure of the final deal is unclear, but it will include multiple firms. There's no word on what level, though, of involvement there will be from Chinese companies, including TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, and what their role will be in the deal.
The Trump administration has ordered several national parks to remove mentions of slavery.
Sources tell the Washington Post the National Park Service is removing certain signs and exhibits, including the painting known as the Scourged Back, which shows the scars on the back of a slave who had been whipped. Items will also be pulled from the president's house site in Philadelphia, where George Washington kept slaves. Last month, Trump called for a similar review of Smithsonian museums.
We want the museums to talk about the history of our country in a fair manner, not in a woke manner.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 119. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A hot and potentially hazy day on tap. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. You're jammed up through Totem Lake because of a disabled vehicle on I-405 southbound near Northeast 124th Street. But it's mostly heavy volumes that are dragging down your travel times. Everett to Seattle, an hour and a half. That's half an hour longer than usual. And you're 10 minutes longer than typical. Federal Way to Seattle, Renton to Bellevue, and across the Lake Bridges, Bellevue to Seattle. Travel brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. With temperatures in the 80s today, a red flag fire warning is in effect for parts of western Washington, and gusty winds could make things worse. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard.
A wind advisory for the Cascade foothills, and I started to think about this. All the trees still have leaves on it, and with gusts anywhere from 35 to 45, maybe even 50 for a few places, especially kind of mid to late morning through the afternoon, it's going to be strong.
2 brush fires in Seattle show just how fast flames can spread. Sunday's fire on Beacon Hill damaged 4 homes and sent 2 people to a hospital. Cooler weather is expected tomorrow. An arrest and murder charges now in the stabbing deaths of 2 women in Burien last week. Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says Marvin Ortiz Montesinos killed his girlfriend and then attacked her roommate who tried to stop him.
The girlfriend received 20 plus stab wounds. The roommate experienced 40. This was a pretty horrific murder.
The suspect is due in court tomorrow. The man accused of burglarizing the homes of Seattle area celebrities has pleaded not guilty to 10 felony charges.
Prosecutors say 29-year-old Patrick Maisonette broke into the homes of stars like Macklemore, Ichiro Suzuki, and Mariners pitcher Luis Castillo, even pepper spraying people inside. Maisonette was arrested last month and is being held on more than $2 million bail. Investigators say surveillance and cell phone data helped crack the case, with some stolen items recovered from a South Seattle jewelry store. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Hundreds of Seattle high school students walked out of classes yesterday demanding the district drop plans to switch to 2 lunch periods. The district tells the Seattle Times the change is necessary to make sure students have adequate class and mealtime. Students say having 2 lunches disrupts clubs and other social activities. The Mariners are first in the AL West. Fangraphs now give Seattle a 96% chance of making it to the postseason for the first time since 2022. KIRO 7 TV reports their odds of winning the division, it's close to 68%. You know why.
9-2 in the 8th inning. Everybody grow mustaches.
It could be the mustaches or the Etsy Witch or Cheetos. The Mariners meet the Royals in Kansas City this afternoon. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, September 16th. I got to ask you, how's your day today?
Ooh.
Text in 888-973-5476. Not just how's your day, how are you feeling? Text us.
What's different about today? There's something different about today. It's going to be 80-something degrees today.
Oh, that was
one little blast of summer.
That was low-hanging fruit right there. You know what I mean? I knew that's what you would be on. Yeah, but Texas though. How you guys doing? How you feeling? It's September 16th. We're in the middle of the month, right? We're heading into the fall season. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, ever wonder why it feels like we are living in completely different Americas, even when we're neighbors? Well, the answer actually may not just be politics, but algorithms.
Yeah.
So coming up after Heather's newscast at 9:30, we're going to dig into how they are shaping our mindsets. And more importantly, is there any way we can take back control of what we see and what we hear?
And yesterday, Ursula, I showed Chef and Paul my algorithms on pants.
Oh.
Just a pair of pants.
Okay.
And I'll explain what that was about.
Okay.
It'll blow your mind.
Okay. Our text line is open for you, as always, and you are such an important part of our show. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Welcome to all of you watching us on YouTube as well.
Okay, Ursula, let's get busy. Let's get to your top stories of the day, brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
In Bothell, the principal of North Creek High School is now stepping away just days into the new school year. Eric McDowell confirmed the move in a letter to families following the backlash over a now deleted Instagram post that he made about the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. In that post, as I mentioned yesterday, McDowell wrote that stricter gun control might have prevented his death. And he also said, and this is a quote, "Thoughts and prayers did not keep him alive," adding the word oops. Parents told King 5 his remarks crossed a line.
I don't think that belongs in the school. And I do think they should be held to a higher standard.
She and others say school leaders should be held to a higher standard, while others stress the importance of neutrality, especially in moments of national tension. There was this parent, though, who thinks the principal should keep his job.
I think it probably would have been wiser to make it a teaching moment. I think there is a lot that could be learned if it was used the right way.
Now, his fate isn't clear. The North Shore School District says his decision to step away gives him space to reflect and to keep students' well-being the top priority. But, Gee, as you know, this is not just a local controversy. It is part of a much larger pattern, because what we're seeing across the country that employees are losing jobs over their social media posts about Charlie Kirk's death. For example, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that American Airlines pilots have been removed from service after mocking posts had surfaced. American Airlines called the behavior hate-related and unacceptable. Delta and United have also suspended workers for similar remarks. I was on TikTok yesterday looking at a young woman who was posting about how she had lost her job in the field of education. She wasn't a teacher. She was someone who worked with students on different. I don't know exactly what specifically it was. She wasn't a student, a teacher in the classroom.
Paraprofessional, I believe.
Yes. Okay. And she was sharing that she had lost her job. And then I was looking at the comments, and so many people were saying, "Yeah, I lost my job too. I lost my job too for the same reason." Now, my question to you is your reaction to what you're seeing in terms of whether it's this Bothell principal or others who are losing their jobs.
Okay. First, I think it is better to confront any type of harmful speech with the truth, not punishment or coercion. Even though I know the truth oftentimes makes so many uncomfortable. A lot of folks don't like hearing the truth. It makes them feel a certain type of way. So they want you to stop it. They want you to take down exhibits in museums. They want you to burn those books. Don't put those books there. Dr. King wrote in the book Strength to Love that censorship and suppression strangle freedom and create bitterness. In that book, he actually talked about and warned about how firings can risk deepening division rather than better understanding. Now, with all of that being said, I put a post on all of my social media platforms the day after everything happened, early in the morning, Ursula. And I said to folks, don't lose your job. That wasn't me trying to tell people how to feel. That wasn't me trying to tell people you should think this way, you should respond this way. All I said is don't lose your job. Now, I mentioned that to you. This was before I found out, and we all found out, that the federal government would be involved in helping people lose their job. I didn't expect that. To the principal of North Shore, the oops with the thoughts and prayers, I would tell that principal the same way I would my partner Chef and Nick or any of my friends. I would say, come on, man. Come on now. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't be in a position of leadership. You can't be in a position of the next generation being in your hands, having an influence on people and families, and do something like that. Do I think you should be fired? I'll tell you this. I don't think you should be principal. If you're making decisions like that, you should not be a leader. You should go and be a worker bee. Now, the last thing I want to say, Ursula, is this. I don't know that this is going to fix things by having people fired. I'm shocked that the same people that screamed about the First Amendment.
And
by the way, I have receipts. But again, I know a lot of folks ain't ready for the uncomfortable truth, so I slow play that. I have receipts of people talking about the First Amendment, receipts about how you can't go after people because of protection of the First Amendment. The same people are saying, well, that's because I don't like what you said, so therefore I want to come after you.
So I agree with what you're saying. The thing that is worrisome to me, on the principal's part, that was just such poor judgment. And if I'm a parent in that district, I would say, yeah, that's not a sign of leadership. That you're in a position that you've now put yourself in creating an even more divisive environment when you're supposed to be a leader for all.
Yep.
Now, I understand also that that's a double standard because what I just said, is not applying to even the highest levels of leadership in this country.
Sure.
But what's unprecedented and worrisome, you mentioned federal agencies warning employees that mocking Kirk's assassination on social media could get you fired. The State Department is actually reviewing visas of foreign nationals who've made public posts about the killing. And they're saying that celebrating the death of a U.S. activist could cost you your right to stay here. Vice President J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller say that the administration is going to use the Department of Justice and Homeland Security to go after left-leaning organizations that they believe fuel extremism, and they're pointing to using the context of the Charlie Kirk assassination and warning against anyone who uses, again, their free speech rights, calling it these leftist organizations fueling extremism. The administration is openly urging everyone to report anyone, whether it's military or federal workers or foreigners, who post distasteful remarks about Kirk's assassination. And then President Trump himself has framed it as a fight against radical left lunatics.
So,
I mean, that is unprecedented. I looked it up. I'm like, okay, the federal government, past administrations have punished troops or federal workers for partisan comments, but using state power to root out these posts or revoke visas or even target organizations over the remarks about someone who was a public figure but not a political appointee, but someone who was an activist who did say some very controversial things. I mean, and so First Amendment scholars are saying, yeah, this is unusual territory. And to me, that is worrisome.
So cancel culture is back?
Apparently.
It's back now, right?
Yes.
It's interesting that it's back. But, before we move on, I just, I got to say this. Isn't it crazy that so many people are outraged at comments and opinions that have been made? By the way, I keep saying don't lose your job for some of these comments. But they're more outraged at some of the opinions after than they are of the opinion where Fox News, Brian Kilmeade, literally said, kill the unhoused. Y'all ain't mad about that? See, this is...
Has he made a very sincere apology, apparently?
I just want to just say this going forward. Imagine if G. Scott got on the airwaves at KIRO Radio and said to kill a group of people. How fast would I be fired? As a matter of fact, if you're listening, I would hope that you would want me fired, because that's just the thing is this liberal Democrat and conservative and all this stuff. I told Chef and Ursula yesterday, there's a line in the sand, good and evil.
That's exactly. Those are the sides we should be talking about.
Good and evil.
Yeah, not left or right, Democrats or Republicans. It's how about we're all in this together and we want to root out evil. We want to people to stay alive. We want to do something about all the guns that are being used. Why don't we gather around that versus trying to stamp out anyone who has anything to say that is deemed controversial or critical of someone who, again, made his living getting a lot of attention for saying some outrageous things that, yes, some large swaths of population were offended by, even if you think he was the greatest person on earth. So again, I mean, I think that we are living in very, very troubling times.
Before we move on, Ursula,
yeah.
Mona from Tacoma, it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, 35 years old. Next, move on.
Hundreds of Seattle high school students walked out of class yesterday and marched straight to district headquarters.
1 hour lunch! 1 hour lunch!
Seattle Public Schools wants to split lunch into 2 periods at its 7 high schools, and the district is saying that it's about meeting state requirements and making sure that everyone has time and space to eat. But students tell Fox 13 the plan would wreck clubs, would cut into test makeups and teacher time, and it would pull apart the one moment in the day when the whole school can come together.
A lot of my clubs that I'm in are going to be destroyed, or at least in high jeopardy.
and that really matters to me. It would change it all because like a lot of people can't like join the clubs or go to the club meetings now because it's like half the school doesn't have the same like schedule as the rest. A majority of the student body can't go to clubs that are before or after school just due to like outside circumstances.
There's other days where I'm doing band and like football games, so it'd be hard for me to like do any clubs after school.
Well, some of the student leaders were invited inside to meet with the interim superintendent, Fred Podesta. He apologized that, it was a clumsy rollout, but he says this 2-lunch plan is still going to move forward. So for now, that change is delayed until October 6th at some schools, but students are going to keep up the pressure. They've already delivered thousands of petition signatures and are pushing board members to roll the decision back altogether.
Today's school curriculum is absolutely cheeks. The world.
Wait. People don't understand the word. Cheeks.
They don't need. Let it go.
Okay.
Because if you simmer on it,
okay,
you know
I
what
gotcha.
I mean? Okay. Thank you for doing the show with me, Ursula. This morning, I was expressing to you and Chef, and I'm going to say it again. It is outdated. When you graduate, you don't know anything. It is the only thing that we do in society that outside of the classroom, everything else is moving, Ursula. You got tech, you got science, you got the world moving. But only you got to come to this dang on school, sit here for 7 hours, go to your lunch here. Can I use the bathroom? Sit in this desk. Don't move. Go to the office. It is just outdated. They need a refreshed curriculum. I am on the kids' side. The way the school rolled this out, oh, by the way, we're splitting up your lunches 30 minutes. Update the school curriculum. The job market is nothing. I know I'm going off on a tangent, Ursula, but I'm being serious when I say this. It is time to start updating the school stuff. Give the kids an hour of lunch. Sometimes you don't want to.
Okay, I think that they did a horrible rollout. It sounds like a lot of parents were caught off guard, and students didn't feel like they got any input and say. And I love that they're speaking out and trying to make a change. But you also have to look at the reality of it all. I know that you need to do special staffing when it comes to lunches. Can they handle, all the students at the same time, or is this a necessity because of, what the staffing needs are? You know how hard it is sometimes to stand in line. A lot of times kids will not be able to even get food because everyone's eating at the same time. So it may be, there may be other factors that we're not necessarily aware of. But I am sympathetic to the idea that if they can't do the club, some people might say, oh, boo-hoo. But the reality is there are a lot of students who have jobs after school.
Yeah, exactly. No, Ursula, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you okay with these kids getting an hour lunch?
An hour feels a little long to me.
You know what that
I'll
hour?
say 45 minutes.
Yeah, you know what?
I'll come
meet in the middle.
I'll meet in the middle. I know. It drives people crazy.
People are just getting paid too much these days, too. Way too much.
You know what?
I don't know. Maybe those of you who are in the district, here's the reality. I just looked at it. Seattle Public Schools has lost nearly 4,000 students. If there are enough students who are hacked off about this, they may lose more. So I think the district needs to do a better job of explaining why it is that this needs to happen this way.
Hey, hey, look here. If you're a kid and you're going to walk out, just come on over to the Gee and Ursula Show. Can we sit down and talk to you?
Yeah.
Let's talk to the kids.
Yeah, I would love to talk to the kids.
One of the things I'm learning
Hopefully they're at school.
We got to talk to the kids. Usually I say, forget them kids, but today I want to hear what the kids got to say.
I'll sign your permission slip.
Forget them kids.
By the way, a couple of people texted Ursula. They said, "Oh, I don't get it either." About when I said the school curriculum was cheeks.
Yeah.
Hey, come up 9:47. We will play the games. Everybody loves it around the world. Allie in Tacoma loves Would You Rather. But up next, why are Americans living in two separately different realities? Ursula and I, we try to do our best to explain it next. Gee and Ursula.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Dave Ross. If you have joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, so if you're in pain, join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday night at 6 to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good-to-Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details. dayandnight.net.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The 22-year-old man accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk is expected to make his first court appearance this afternoon at 2 Pacific Daylight Time, charges to be announced around 11.
I would anticipate an aggravated murder count and maybe a couple of lesser counts.
That's legal analyst Greg Skordas on our Utah sister station KSL. Kirk was gunned down while appearing at an event in Utah last week. No official motive has been released. Developments in the case against Luigi Mangione, who's accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare's CEO last year. He's still charged with second-degree murder, but the judge in the case dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Mangione, saying the evidence behind them was legally insufficient. A Federal Way homeowner is demanding answers after a car crashed through his backyard Saturday evening. David Tappan tells KIRO 7 TV the car narrowly missed children and pets.
It's stuff. I get that. The main thing is nobody was hurt, nobody was killed, and I'm very, very happy about that. But I'm very disappointed on how this was processed. They blew it off.
He says the car barreled through his fence, destroying his deck, gazebo, and hot tub. The driver sustained minor injuries and was cited for reckless driving. A railroad crossing in Sumner is shut down after an Amtrak train slammed into a man's SUV yesterday. More from KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
The SUV was split in two, one half ending up about a block down the tracks.
It's like something out of a movie that you don't want to see in person.
Employees from the auto dealership across the street rushed in to help. The driver, a man in his 20s, was the only one in the vehicle.
We didn't think he was alive, but then he kind of breathed a little bit, and so that changed everything.
Witnesses say, thankfully, an off-duty paramedic was right there.
The driver's hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Hollywood legend Robert Redford has died at the age of 89. Redford's breakout role was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I'll jump first. No. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
He followed that with a string of hits in the 1970s, including The Candidate, The Sting, for which he won an Oscar, 3 Days of the Condor, and All the President's Men. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 112 points. NASDAQ is off 12. In Federal Way, you have a crash blocking 2 lanes on I-5 northbound just south of South 272nd Street. But it's mostly heavy volumes causing your travel headaches this morning. Everett to Seattle is Federal Way to Seattle, Renton to Bellevue. Bellevue to Seattle is all running about 10 minutes longer than typical. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It is going to be a warm one, so take care or enjoy if you love it this warm. Coming up at 9:47, we do our Would You Rather, the world famous Would You Rather game. But right now, we need to talk about why it feels like we are living in two completely different Americas. Maybe you're wondering, like, how come I can see this and you have a completely different take on it?
Yeah.
You bring up an issue that feels like it's life or death, and the person across from you will just stare blankly like you are speaking a different language. So we know and we love the fact that we have a lot of conservative listeners to our show. And maybe you can't figure out why Democrats aren't more outraged about Hunter Biden's laptop, or even with what's going on right now with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You're seeing a lot of different reactions, and you're wondering, why is it that we seem like we're talking past each other, and why does it feel like every day we're just splitting even further and further into different realities?
Right.
And you had brought up that we need to talk about algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you did a deep dive. So when you did a deep dive, what were you looking for? Because, I mean, for people, I'm going to guess most people know what algorithms are, but it's what powers our social media feeds,
right,
essentially. And you'll just get either the same kind of content, or if you are deliberate about it, you can get various things. But a lot of times we're in our own echo chamber.
Yeah. First, I want to tell you why I did a deep dive on algorithms yesterday. And I did the deep dive because of a question that I asked to Chef and my fellow nerd brother, Paul Holden.
Okay.
And we're sitting there, and as you know, my algorithm is filled with shopping and clothes and all that stuff. So there was a pair of pants from Dolce & Gabbana, nice pants. So I reached over, I grabbed a picture of it, and I said, Chef, how much do you think these pair of pants cost? Chef says $600. I asked Paul. Paul says, Chef took $600. I'm going to go half that, $300. The pair of pants, Ursula, cost $18,400. Ridiculous, right?
Yes.
Like, it was ridiculous. Have you seen something like that on your algorithm? Probably.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So that's what got it. And so I was in my mind, I was thinking like, wow, my algorithms show this, and then other people's algorithms show everything. And it got me to really going with all of this stuff going on, the talk. And some people might get different realities on their phones. They might get their stuff curated to be like, boom. So some of the things that I might see, or you might see, where we're like, wait a minute, Nick, you didn't see that? And Nick's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Because that's what's happening. I'll be corny for a second. Algorithms are like that friend who only invites you to the party where everybody already agrees with you. It feels good, but you don't realize when you're in that house, in that party, there's a huge block party going on outside. But you don't know that because you're in this house hearing what everybody wants you to hear,
right?
Blinded by the big block party that's going on outside.
Yeah. So what do you do to fight that? And I ask that because because of our job, force myself to try to listen or watch or read media from organizations that I wouldn't typically choose to do, but trying to understand, okay, what is it that is being said on this to understand where people are coming from? Because it is very, very segmented. And when you are, let's say when you're on on TikTok, if I am engaging, if I want more of a specific content, all I need to do is comment on something or also scroll past. I mean, knowing how much time I spend on each thing. Like right now, there's a lot of political content on my TikTok. There's a lot of perfume TikTok. So I can tell what it is that I have been, and a lot of self-care kind of tips but there's a lot of news because it's what I consume. And so I get a lot of that. But you have to be very intentional of wanting to hear things that you normally might not be attracted to, or you can perfectly curate your algorithm so that you don't hear any of it. And that is what I think is contributing to this divide.
Well, I think we first need to acknowledge and realize that the algorithm is way smarter than we think. And what I mean by that is this. There is nobody in the world, this includes your mama, your spouse, your kids, no brother, sister, nobody knows you the way your cell phone knows you. And what I mean by that is it's just real simple. Your cell phone, it knows. So if you're on Instagram or if you're on TikTok or if you're on anything, it knows how long you spend on certain content.
Exactly.
It knows what you have your eye on, even if you don't like or subscribe. It knows that when you see this, you pause. But when you see this, you don't
Scroll
pause.
on by,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It knows what you look for. It knows what type of things you like to eat. Again, it knows you. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell you, Ursula, just for me, I have realized, and I was being funny about the pants, that was a true story, but even my algorithm, it wants to feed me. And when it feeds me stuff, it feeds me a lot of hate because it knows that I'm going to land on that and I'm going to look at that. It knows me. I get on Twitter right now. Ugh. If I get on Twitter right now, I promise you, you want to know who's going to come up? You know what?
No,
I'm not going to mess up the segment.
Yeah,
I'm not going to mess up the segment.
But we can imagine.
Right.
But again, it is something to consider when you're wondering, like, why do we feel like we are warring against each other?
Mm-hmm.
And yet we want the same things. We want a lot of the same things. But why is it that you have a completely different perspective than I do? And it's not just our experiences, our personal experiences.
Yeah, it's not just that.
It is what we're consuming.
Absolutely.
253 just texted in and said, I'm 32 and I have no social media. It's the best. I get all my news from y'all.
Now, I want to, before we get out of this topic, and thank you for that text, 253, I think that if you are far right, MAGA, and you listen to the Gee and Ursula Show every single day, I'll say this to you. I actually commend you for that. If you listen to the Gee and Ursula Show every day and you're MAGA and or far right, I commend you for that. And I'd argue and I'd wonder, and you can text in if you want, why do you listen to the show every day? I'm curious. I wasn't assuming. I'm actually asking why.
Well, I know that we do have a lot, and like you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I also appreciate when they disagree with us passionately but respectfully.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy.
Yeah. Agree. You want to know what else is healthy?
What's that?
Would you rather at 9:47?
There you go.
Allie's favorite topic. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free Good2Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots, on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/21/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intra-line applied via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data and service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q1 to Q2 2025.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Hey, it's Shannon O'Kelly from IRG, and this Wednesday, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk all about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday night at 6 to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. What's happening, y'all? It is now time for the game sweeping the nation and around the world. By the way, I'm going to add all kinds of adjectives to this game.
We're working on just sweeping the Seattle area.
This is Would You Rather. Would you rather die in... Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live to be 100 with lots of regrets?
Let's see, how old am I? I would rather die in 20 years with no regrets.
Forget that. I'd rather die at 100 with a whole lot of regrets. I did that show with Ursula for all those years.
What? That would be one of your regrets?
Okay, here we go. Would you rather accidentally shave off a large patch of hair or dye your hair an unexpected, embarrassing color? Now, this is a tough one for you, Ursula. Now, when you say shave, I'm talking about shave, big patch, or dye your hair.
I would rather dye my hair an embarrassing color because I know I could have it color corrected or wear a wig. It's harder to grow that hair out.
I've had this happen to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with a large patch shaved out.
Oh, really?
Gabby cut my hair once, and she's doing the back, and she's trying to trim up the neck, and I hear her go, oops. And the razor just goes right up the back of my head. But it was on the back of my head. I couldn't see it. It didn't bother me at all.
Oh, okay. Well, what about you, G?
Easy. I'd rather just, you know what? Let me dye my hair. That'd be fun. Because because as you know, I could shave my head easily. And it wouldn't be a big deal.
And I mean,
let me dye my hair.
Okay.
Like a purple.
How about this?
What do you got?
Would you rather, okay, so we're talking about the beautiful sunny day that we're going to have today. Okay, but we're about to get into the rainy season.
Okay.
Would you rather endure 6 months of nonstop drizzle or one epic snowstorm that shuts down Seattle for a week?
Easy. Epic snowstorm that shuts Seattle down for a week.
Me too.
I'd be making snowmen with the kids. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, here's one. Nick, I want you to join in on this one, on this fun. Ursula, we'll start with you. Would you rather wear the same socks for 2 months straight or the same underwear for 3 days? This is what your careers come to, Ursula. This is what your careers come to.
Oh, I can't say neither. Oh, my goodness. I'm going with the socks.
Nick?
I take the underwear because that 3 days is not as long as 2 months socks, and I don't know if they would stay
2 months socks.
Oh no,
I don't think they would stay flexible enough after a certain amount of time. I think you could work around 3 days straight of underwear. Just like don't exercise too much, Try and stay still as much as possible.
Chef,
this question's not relevant to me.
Oh no. That is way too much information. Okay, how about this one? Again, Pacific Northwest style. Would you rather never drink Starbucks again or never eat Dick's Drive-In again?
Okay. I'd rather not drink Starbucks again. I love what Dick's does. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I love the way they treat their,
Yes. Yeah. Well, they're big in local community. Treat their employees right.
Yeah.
I'd go for the Dick's too.
The only time you miss the Starbucks is when you're traveling somewhere that doesn't have coffee culture. Because then Starbucks is like, it tastes amazing compared to places where they serve instant.
That's true.
Last one. Would you rather lose all of your friends but keep one BFF or lose your one BFF and keep the rest of your friends?
I'll keep the BFF. How about you?
Yeah. This is easy. I'll lose the BFF and keep the friends. Easy. This is easy.
Why is it so easy?
Because I don't truly believe you have one BFF. especially
But
as you get older.
Would you agree? I mean,
you don't really have one BFF.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a wide social circle, but I also understand the importance of having that one that you can truly trust. And I would
it's
rather
long-lived Mark. What you talking about?
I would rather have, well, that too. I would rather have quality over quantity.
Oh, wait. I just want to make sure I got this right. I'm asking, writing this down. Are you guys saying that you, outside of your spouse, you have friends that you would tell more to your friend than your spouse?
Yeah. About certain things, sure. Yes. Yes.
Wait.
You have friends for different
You don't
reasons
tell your spouse everything?
Not everything.
You know what, Chef? Put that keep that tab open. We got to talk about that one day. Hey, we got the 10 o'clock hour coming up. We got a lot to talk about. Including some of the rhetoric that's happening, and that's right. Elon Omar makes it on there. Gee Ursula.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at eloquist.com or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at homecomfortalliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Under fire from Democrats and some Republicans, FBI Director Kash Patel tells Congress there's no credible information in the files the government has that convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein trafficked young women to others.
I'm here to testify that the original sin in the Epstein case was the way it was initially brought by Mr. Acosta back in 2006. The original case involved a very limited search warrant or set of search warrants and didn't take as much investigatory material it should have seized. If I were the FBI director then, it wouldn't have happened.
Patel defending his own actions as lawmakers clamor for more files. He effectively closed the Epstein case with a memo in July. CBS's Michael Wallace tells us President Trump is suing the New York Times and 4 of its reporters for $15 billion.
The suit accuses the Times of spreading false content about Trump and acting as a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. The lawsuit comes after the Times ran stories about the crude birthday note Trump allegedly wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. He claims he didn't write it.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
In July, Trump sued the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion for its reporting about that note.
Now to Utah, CBS's Katrina Kaufman is covering what will be the first formal court hearing for the suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
The judge will make sure that he understands the charges against him, that he understands his rights here, that he knows he has the right to an attorney. If he's not able to get a private one, they can give him a public defender. And then significantly, this could be an opportunity where he can plead guilty or not guilty.
And in New York, court action in another high-profile killing.
Luigi Mangione is still charged with second-degree murder for the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. But the judge in the case dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Mangione, saying the evidence behind them was legally insufficient.
CBS's Allison Keyes says a December 1st trial date has been set. Robert Redford's death has a lot of people talking about some of his major films.
I could have been better. I could have broke every record in the book.
And then?
And then when I walked down the street, people would have looked and they would have said, there goes Roy Hobbs, the best there ever was in this game.
He was the Natural in 1984. Before that, Redford had a string of leading man roles. Pop culture expert Robert Thompson.
Robert Redford dominated American film acting in the 1970s, from Butch Cassidy to All the President's Men, and then went on to dominate a lot of film directing in the 1980s.
He won Oscars for acting and directing. Robert Redford was 89. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 85 points. The S&P is down 4.5. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
A lawsuit could blow a nearly $500 million hole in the state budget. That's one of the stories coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Near Federal Way, a crash is blocking a lane on northbound I-5 near South 272nd Street. You are slow down to Wild Waves. Travel time, Federal Way to Seattle is 65 minutes, 24 longer than usual. Still some heavy volumes, but travel times are improving. Everett to Seattle, 47 minutes now, 5 longer than usual. Bellevue to Seattle, 21 minutes, about 10 longer as we wait for the lake bridges to clear out. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Expect a hot and potentially hazy day. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard.
So we have increasing smoke and haze. We have breezy weather, especially breezy to windy in the Cascade foothills. The rest of us will feel more like, why don't we say 10 to 20 out of the east-southeast as the day goes on, and it'll be 85. Not a record, The record in Seattle is 91, but boy, that is still warm for this time of year.
And the fire danger is high. There is a red flag warning in effect for parts of western Washington. A house fire in Everett leaves one man dead and a second critically wounded. The fire was near Center Road and 8th Avenue West Sunday. Crews rescued an elderly man from a second-floor bedroom. Jose Alfredo Gonzalez Guzman tells KIRO 7 TV he and his brother tried to save a man trapped on the first floor.
It was really sad because the person that we tried to help is the one that ended up being dead, so it was sad.
No cause for that fire yet. A 17-year-old boy and a 19-year-old man have been arrested for felony harassment after an incident involving clown masks and guns along Aurora Avenue North.
Two women who frequent the area flagged down an officer and reported two men wearing clown masks and carrying at least one gun approached them the night before. Here's SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
The victims felt that those two suspects were trying to abduct them.
Police spotted the suspect vehicle. Inside the car, they say they found the masks, guns, and extended magazines. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Comcast is suing Washington State over a new tax on digital advertising. The company tells the Washington State Standard the tax unfairly targets internet ads while exempting traditional ones like TV, radio, and billboards. The law is set to take effect October 1st and is expected to raise over $1 billion. But if Comcast wins the lawsuit, it could blow a $475 million hole in the state budget. Pickleball players, time to reset your clocks. Seattle is cutting court hours. Seattle Parks and Rec says games must wrap up at 7 p.m. instead of 10 at Gilman Playground, Laurelhurst Playfield, and Mount Baker Park. Neighbors had repeatedly complained about noise. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies with highs in the mid-80s. It's 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to everybody. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Happy Tuesday, September 16th. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning.
Yeah.
It sounded very official.
Yeah, I was
starting off this hour.
I was trying to be official.
It throws me off because normally you'll come up with something random. And then,
okay, but let me ask you this.
People don't realize doing a show with you for almost 6 years now, I never know what to expect from the get-go.
What can you handle more?
Yes.
A very serious G or an off-the-cuff G?
I've learned to handle both.
Of course.
Okay, hey, coming up at 10:30.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we've got coming up at 10:30
What we got?
because there was one book that I read to my oldest son that made him burst into tears when he was a child.
Really?
Yes, and this author of this book is doing something that is going to prompt a very serious conversation about death. And you're going to want to tune in because we are going to want you to weigh in as well. And it's a very delicate subject, but I think it's an important conversation to have.
Okay.
So we will do that coming up at 10:30. Right now, I just, again, want to invite you to join us on our text line, which has been very busy, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Just a reminder, if you missed any part of our show, you can catch up on our podcast. Also would encourage you, if you don't ever want to be without our show, like when you're traveling, you can have us for free on your KIRO radio app. You can listen to us all the time, anywhere.
What's new at 10?
But we're going to dive into another very serious conversation because the fight over Charlie Kirk's legacy isn't just about memory, it is about power. I've spent a lot of time responding to people who object to some of the things that we have said on this show regarding disagreements as to whether he said things that were I use the word outrageous. To some people, they were outrageous. To other people,
Before you go on it, hold that thought.
Yes.
I want to set the record straight on something.
Yes.
On this show, we still haven't continued to play anything from Charlie Kirk.
No, we played 3 clips, which people took offense to, that they said we took it out of context.
Right.
We played 3 clips, and again, our intention was never to take it out of context. Our intention was to show you why there are some people who really object to the things that he said. And again, I want to also start with the premise that we said right out of the chute, we said what happened to him was horrific, should have never happened. No matter how you feel about someone, political violence is never the answer.
Never.
But this part of the conversation and what is happening in the wake of his assassination is something that is consuming the country right now.
Yep.
At a weekend vigil, Trump aide Stephen Miller promised to wield the Justice Department against anyone who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. Again, getting the Justice Department involved. Vice President J.D. Vance, I believe he was on the podcast, and he went further, defending Kirk's record while calling for critics to be fired and accusing the left of driving most of America's political violence. So first of all, let's listen to Stephen Miller.
It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
All said, Stephen Miller.
Okay, and as I mentioned, the vice president hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast yesterday, and he defended Kirk's legacy, accusing the nation, along with others, about lying about what Kirk said during his life. Now, I want you to listen to this because we have included, and Chef, I want to make real clear, and I want to let people know exactly what we're doing.
Yes.
You've put together a J.D. Vance cut, and you're following it with
the exact quote
from Charlie Kirk.
The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words.
If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
Okay. And again, I am sure that there are going to be people saying, well, even that is taken out of context. But the vice president called for people to be fired for their opinions about Charlie Kirk.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility.
And again, he accused the left for the majority of political violence in this country.
We have to talk about this incredibly destructive movement of left-wing extremism that has grown up over the last few years, and I believe is part of the reason why Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. We're going to talk about how to dismantle that and how to bring real unity.
Okay, so again, and Chef, I want to ask for your explanation as to, you have now this chant that we can hear.
Yeah, so this is the night that Charlie was shot, and at a vigil in Huntington Beach, California. This is the chant that broke out.
White man, fight back! White man, fight back! White man, fight back! White man, fight back!
Okay. So I'm trying to present as many different things here as possible. President Trump was asked whether he considered lowering the nation's flags for Minnesota Representative Melissa Hortman, who was assassinated along with her husband, and then 2 other people were the suspect also attempted to kill 2 others, and here's this answer.
Do you think it would have been fitting
to lower the flags to half-staff when Melissa Hortman, the Minnesota House Speaker, was gunned down by an assassin as well?
I'm not familiar. The
Minnesota House Speaker, a Democrat, who was assassinated this summer.
Well, if the governor had asked me to do that, I would have done that. But the governor of Minnesota didn't ask me. I didn't.
Okay, if you recall what happened after that horrific situation, the Minnesota governor actually, I think that, remember that it was Trump was basically ripping into Tim Walz versus now we're hearing that he says he didn't call him and that's the reason why. My question, I guess, for all of you listening right now and for you, right now there is such an effort to try to point which side is worse, which side is more guilty of political violence, political hate. And again, I want to point out that there is data that shows, if you were to look it up, they show that right-wing extremists are behind 57% of terrorist incidents and 335 deaths versus left-wing's 25% and 22 deaths. But I hesitate to even share that because, my question is, how does this help?
Okay. I won't, because right now there's a lot you just gave me.
Yes.
But first, I want you to explain to me your hesitation to share that. Why do you hesitate to share that? Why do you not want to talk about the raw data when it comes to the numbers of the extremism that has led to murder in this country and terrorism in this country?
Because I think any kind of political violence, any kind of terrorism is horrible. It should be gone after. When you say, why do I hesitate?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to inflame things even further. I think right now this is a powder keg. And I think this idea of, no, you're worse, no, all of it is horrible.
When Matt Walsh takes to X and he goes on X and he tells people about how the trans community commit terrorism in this country, and the leader of X, the person whose platform it is, reposts that. So I guess the question would be to everyone that's listening. And by the way, I'm not even getting into who's this, extremism, all that. I just want to ask this. Do we have a history in this country of demonizing marginalized groups?
Yes.
Is that a fact? That's a fact. And if you, depending on which decade or which year, you can go to that time and you can look it up and see. There was a time, well, there's always been a time that black people have been the people that you need to worry about. You need to watch out for them. You don't want to live in those neighborhoods. We had that. We had the early 2000s where Muslims were demonized here in this country. We have a time right now specifically where our brown brothers and sisters are being demonized. I'm bringing this up because I just want to show you that what's popular and what has never stopped is the demonization of marginalized groups. Now, in the very beginning, you brought up Michelle Obama. And one of the reasons why I feel and don't feel the need to talk about the things that Charlie Kirk has said in the past, because I am one of those that believe that the truth never expires. So when we're talking about Michelle Obama, and he made the comment about how these specific black women don't have the brains to process things, let's talk about Michelle Obama. Was a graduate of Princeton University. Got her law degree in 1991 from Harvard. Question, is that somebody that sounds like a black woman that doesn't have the brain to process things? Now, I would almost understand if those comments about Michelle Obama came from someone that had themselves graduated from Harvard and or Princeton. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know exactly where Charlie Kirk graduated college from. Again, I apologize for not doing the research on there. Maybe you guys can do the research on where Charlie Kirk graduated college. But these things, Ursula, what I'm trying to say to you, and this is a conversation, it has been happening forever, and it won't stop because there are people listening right now that truly believe in their heart that the people that I just discussed, Muslims, black people, brown people, Asians, they truly believe that they are less than. That's why you can't change this stuff. The argument about extremism and who's committing those things, they know. They know better than you and me. They don't like the truth. The truth never expires. And these numbers that we're talking about, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years down the road, you can't erase this history. It's all right here on the internet. It's not like it's in a book. It's you can see what they said with their own mouths.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my question would be, where do we go from here?
Oh, you can't close this box. And this is where you and I know sometimes you get upset with me, but you can't close this box because we right now have someone, a liar-in-chief in office that has continued to establish this awful environment, this culture that is happening. They are wielding the DOJ to demonize and go after its own citizens. Who does Donald Trump love the most in this country?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, you win that one. You win that one. Yeah.
But look what's happening to us. And again, this obsession. I mean, it is an obsession right now trying to figure out which side is worse.
But it's always been this way.
But instead of, why don't we all agree that political violence has no place in this country, that we need to root out people who take to guns to settle their differences? Mm-hmm. I mean, there are things that even within this we can all agree on.
They've been
but they're just trying. Right now, I just feel like the country's like, okay, who's the worst? I mean, there was a Fox News host who was swearing at the one Democrat that they have on the show. I mean, who was that anyway?
Frothing at the mouth.
I mean, he was just, basically using all sorts of swear language, saying, "You guys are the worst." I mean,
yeah.
How is this good?
But it's okay. I'll say that to you. It's not good. The same way it's not good when you talk about political violence.
Yes.
When you talk about who used to blow up churches in the South? Who used to kill people for trying to register to vote?
Haven't we moved from that?
No.
And this is why.
No, we have not. We've never moved from that.
How do we change that? That's my point.
Okay.
Like, do we want to just keep soiling ourselves over and over and over again, just being mired in this hate? Or do we do something to make it different? And we talked about the algorithms. We talked about picking sides, just being obsessed with wanting one side to win over the other. You know what? We're all losing.
You said something. I want to stop right there. Ursula, was there a time that that people in this country thought that we had moved on from churches being blown up in the South? Was there a time that we thought that we had moved on from all these things? You want to know why people thought that? Because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have any of the technology.
I know, and I think that's just made it so much worse.
As a matter of fact, when the technology came, right? And what year was it? In 1991 in LA, when the whole world saw Rodney King being beat. When we saw officers beat Rodney King, go take a break, talk to their friends, come back after taking a break for a couple minutes and go in and beat them again, and we saw those officers acquitted. So some of us in this country have been screaming and telling you guys it's still happening. So I apologize if I don't say to you, well, you know, all we have to do is grab hands and sing Kumbaya.
I'm not saying that. I am really not saying that. But I am saying, my question, I don't have the answer. Where do we go from here? I don't think the right answer is trying to prove to someone who's not going to listen to you that your side is worse than the other.
We used to care about character. Our country voted in an adjudicated rapist in office. Is that fact? Oh, see, there it is. See, when I say those things, that's uncomfortable for people.
And people call that divisive.
So,
it's a fact.
It's a fact. When I say that, people say, Gee, I told Chef this morning, every time I come to work now, Gee's the angry black man. And I'm considered the angry black man because of everything that I'm saying was never mainstream. And they made sure people like me were never on the radio.
Wait, just for the record, I don't think you owe anyone an apology.
When I said what they voted in, I bet you there's a lot of people that jolted when I said that. When I said that he is an adjudicated rapist, there were people that don't like that I said that. They're more mad at me saying that than the actual fact. And no, I don't think you believe that, Ursula. Coming up next, beloved Canadian children's author Ursula has a very deep connection to this, something that we need to hear about next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Summer is the perfect time for a new roof. Take advantage of our easy financing, summer specials, and the best warranty in the business. Have a great summer. See you next hockey season. Trust Techline.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's time to rally for the campaign to keep kids healthy. Donate at Safeway checkout to help families afford fresh fruits and veggies. With Snap Produce Match, every dollar goes twice as far. Learn more at your neighborhood Safeway.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A judge has dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, the man accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO last year. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
The judge's decision to drop 2 of the charges brought cheers from a supportive crowd gathered outside the courthouse.
What do we want?
Free healthcare!
When do we want it?
Now! Mangione still faces second-degree murder charges in state court, as well as a federal case that could carry the death penalty.
The 22-year-old man accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk is expected to make his first court appearance this afternoon. Charges will be announced in about half an hour. No official motive has been released, though many people are pointing the finger at heated political rhetoric. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar asking FBI Director Kash Patel today.
What I am asking for is that this rhetoric of blaming one side or the other stop. If you could convey that to the president, could you commit to me, Mr. Patel, Director Patel, that you will do that?
Absolutely, Senator.
Patel is appearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Prosecutors say a Federal Way man who ran the Burien company We Buy Gold, Silver, and Electronics was buying stolen goods and selling them through Amazon and eBay. Now, the 53-year-old has agreed to plead guilty, return the money, and is facing up to 5 years in prison when he's sentenced in December. A man in his 20s is hospitalized in critical condition after an Amtrak train slammed into his SUV in Sumner yesterday. Karen Palmer with Sumner Police says security video shows the men driving around railroad crossing arms.
Always respect the safety of a railroad crossing, whether you can hear or see a train or not. They're coming fast. They can't stop. It's never worth it.
The driver was the only person in the SUV. Repairs are underway in Federal Way, where a car smashed through 3 fences, a deck, and a hot tub. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas spoke with a couple who lives there.
Thankfully, everyone is okay after the crash, but David says the driver only missed the kids on the swing set next door by 2 feet, while his dogs, Moose and Sterling, were startled. The foundation of his deck taken out, his gazebo and hot tub, essentially total losses.
My wife predicted this a few years ago. She said one of these days somebody's going to come through this fence.
David is also upset with how authorities have handled this incident and believes it deserves more than the reckless driving citation that was issued.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 110 points, NASDAQ off 12. KIRO News Radio traffic. In Renton, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near Sunset Boulevard. Travel time Renton to Bellevue, 46 minutes, about 15 longer than usual. The crash has been cleared now from northbound I-5 near South 272nd Street. Travel time Federal Way to Seattle, 46 minutes, just 12 longer than usual. Traffic brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. ProSculpt.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate y'all hanging out with us. That was a very spirited conversation we had in our last segment. Got a lot of you texting us. Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973. KIRO, appreciate all of you respectfully disagreeing with us or agreeing with us, but just keeping it respectful. Really appreciate that. Okay, I told you guys that there was a book that I read to our oldest son, Stephen, when he was little, and it's I Love You Forever. And a lot of parents know this book really, really well. It goes essentially, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but essentially it says, I love you forever. I'll like you for always, forever. Your mom.
As long as you're living.
As long as you're living.
My baby you'll be.
My baby you'll be. Yeah, and it goes on, and then it shows the progression of the mother taking care of the young son, and then at the end, it's the son taking care of the mother. And it's just, I mean, it's a little heart-wrenching. And I just remember I turned it into a song, to kind of like a nursery rhyme type of tune. And Stephen, when he was, I don't know, he wasn't even 2. I mean, he was just bursting into tears. Like, he totally understood the whole concept of, at some point, I'm going to lose mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at the end, it was going to be this role reversal, but it is a beautiful thing. The reason I'm bringing up this author, Robert Munch, is that he has made the difficult decision to end his life through Canada's Medical Assistance in Dying program. Mm-hmm. He's now 80 years old. Again, he's known for Love You Forever and The Paper Bag Princess. These are stories that have touched millions of families around the world. So if you're a parent, you've probably read one or both or all of his books.
Right.
But behind that joy, his own life has carried heartbreak and struggle. He has spoken openly about losing 2 children at birth, his own battles with addiction. He was diagnosed as bipolar, and then he's had a stroke. And in recent years, he has faced dementia and Parkinson's disease. And he told the New York Times he wants to choose his ending while he can still speak. And he can still have a voice in this, and that people could still understand. And he said, I have to pick the moment when I can still ask for it. I know that's very controversial. I know that some religions just don't agree with that. But even though he was having all these health challenges, he kept writing. He published Bounce in 2023, and he is getting ready for another book, The Perfect Paper Airplane, for release this fall. But he has said that that while his memory and speech may fade, the stories will be the last thing to go. And for generations of kids who fell asleep to his words, those stories will never go away. But again, I bring this up because we have our own death with dignity law. Right. And I think it would be important. Chef, you've looked into some of this and how what happens in Canada would be different than what we have here.
So, for example, you have to be a Washington resident, mentally competent. This is critical. Terminal illness diagnosis with an estimation of 6 months or less to live. You also have to be able to self-administer the medication. Now, that differs from Canada's law. Like, the reason why this author is being able to choose this is because you can waive your last rights. You can have a doctor administer the medicine. So he has dementia. In Washington state, no one would be able to make this decision because a dementia diagnosis is years long. And by the time you got towards that 6-month window, you would no longer be of mentally sound mind to qualify for something like death with dignity. And you also have to be able to self-administer it. So in Canada, the basic difference is you can make the decision ahead of time if you know you have a terminal but progressive disease, and someone can then make that decision or administer the medication once the time that you decide on earlier comes.
I remember going back, my father had passed out, and he lasted for a day and a half before he passed away. And one of the things that he would always say, he would always talk about how happy he was to tie his shoes and brush his teeth. And sometimes he'd say, hey, look, I want to always be able to do that. Once I can't do that anymore, I'm ready to go. He would say that. So even when he was trying to fight to stay alive, obviously, I knew that there was going to be a decision that ultimately had to be made because my father would not have wanted to be in that state. You know what
exactly.
I mean? And I didn't have to make that decision, but when I think about this topic right here, I think if someone wants to go, then I think that by all means, they should be able to go. And if there's anybody in the family that's against it, this isn't for them, this is for you, right? I think that sometimes when family decides to, well, we're just gonna keep them there in that state. If you have the sound, if you know before going in that and you want to make that decision, hey, if I'm in that situation, and this person right here, this author is like, hey, I got it together. This is my decision I want to make. Yes. I don't think anybody should argue.
Well, and it sounds like it should be cut and dry like that, but it's not. And which is why I would always say, if you have a situation like this, you need to have it in writing. You need to have it all buttoned down. You need to make sure that you are, well, obviously in your family, you need to make sure you are of right mind to make this decision. Because even if you have stated it like your dad did, and my parents had said the same kind of thing, when you are confronted with that moment, there are still questions.
Yeah.
There are still questions. And when you, because I had to be the medical, basically the person who, you call it the, I'm losing my mind right now, but financial, and both the financial and power of attorney. Thank you. Jeez. Yeah, I was also the medical power of attorney. And that is an incredible responsibility.
Yeah.
And even when it's like, okay, you hear the doctor say, yeah, the chances are, X, Y, Z, and this is the quality of life they would have if you did all these interventions at the age of, it's still a hard decision.
Yeah.
So the more you can have, when I think it's a beautiful thing that Robert Munsch is going to be able to dictate what it is that he wants when he still has the ability to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, coming up next, it's time for scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer, because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information, and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Ursula Reutin here. I'm a repeat customer of Carter Subaru because they have the largest selection of Subarus in our state. Carter Subaru has the vehicle you've been searching for, including more than 250 Subaru Crosstreks starting at 1.9% financing for 48 months on approved credit. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, documentary service fee may be added to the sale or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. Max amount finance is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 9/30/25.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners' final homestand of the regular season starts with 3 straight value games against the Rockies, September 23rd to 25th. Then don't miss a star-studded showdown against Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th to 28th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. Celebrate with payments as low as $125 a month. A beautiful bath installed in one day, no mess, and a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, And we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Nick, let's get the scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I just got married, and we went on a 7-day cruise for our honeymoon. However, my excitement turned to anger when I saw my husband's best friend on the ship. He didn't tell me he invited his buddy and didn't understand why I was annoyed. My husband went on to say that his friend wouldn't be getting in the way of our time together, but his friend ate with us several times and wouldn't leave us alone. It was a legit third wheel situation. My husband told me that he felt sorry for his friend because he's going through a divorce. My week of fun and celebration turned into a week of awkward and weird moments with a moping third wheel. The fact that he can't figure out why this was a problem makes me wonder if I made the biggest mistake of my life. What should I do? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you have the bat first.
So she is right to feel very frustrated because he lied by omission. He didn't tell her that his best friend was going to show up and be there because he knew that she would object to it. So he just went about it anyway, which means that he doesn't really care how she feels. And so I would be hacked off as well. Now, if he doesn't try to make it better, how long have they been married?
They just got married.
They just got married?
And it was a honeymoon.
Oh, dear Lord. No, he owes her another honeymoon. That's not a honeymoon. That's like babysitting.
Now, Ursula, should people reach out and try to get him fired?
Stop. Okay, can we just move
unnecessary.
away from that? No.
Should he try to get this guy fired?
No. It's just like not even close.
Look, lady. Oh, he messed up. It wasn't a good idea.
On
What should you do?
It sounds like she's contemplating the whole
That's
marriage.
what I'm saying. A lot of women, a lot of people want to go all the way to divorce. Don't divorce the man over this.
Well, unless there were already signs and you married him anyway knowing that he was a selfish jerk. Then he just confirmed it for you on your honeymoon.
Is he selfish, though? Because he was looking out for his friend. He was thinking,
you.
Well, not necessarily.
You can't have it both ways on the honeymoon, dude.
I mean, he was looking out for his friend.
What if your mother-in-law was lonely? Bring her, too.
I don't know. You know how I feel about mother-in-laws.
Yeah. I would be questioning the roots of this marriage because there are basically only two things that you should be thinking about on your honeymoon, and that is spending as much time as possible with your significant other, including in the bedroom, and having a great time. And that's it. And you shouldn't be worried about any other people. And if he's not, he wouldn't even consider how you would possibly feel. But the thing is, he knew. That's why he didn't tell you. Yeah.
Well,
Class A jerk.
Well, hold on. Maybe this could be a friend like the same way Whitney Houston had her one friend that would go on the road.
Why are you
Robin
taking
Crawford.
up so much? Why are you
Robin
taking
Crawford.
up for
You mean
this
the bodyguard?
guy?
The lady. No, seriously. No. In real life, Whitney Houston had a really good friend that traveled everywhere with her.
Yeah, Oprah has a really good friend, too.
That's what I was going to.
Okay.
Oprah has Gail.
Are you saying the divorced best friend might be game now?
Sometimes in your family, maybe you have that auntie that has always had that best friend for 35 years.
But gee, what you're
You see what I'm
not
saying?
recognizing is that he lied. He lied by omission. He did not tell her about that. Because he... Okay,
it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Honk, honk. No. Don't listen. Gee, on this one, you're wrong.
Follow where I'm going.
Okay.
Whitney Houston had Robin Crawford. Oprah has Gail.
I know exactly where you're going.
You know?
And your take on this is cheeks at this moment.
Got me on
Okay,
that
Nick.
one.
Well, listen, let's face the elephant in the room. He made the wrong move for the honeymoon, bringing along the friend for the ride. But I guess now that the hopes and dreams for a romantic getaway are now leaving the mind, you got to make the best of the situation. So treat it as a friend gathering vacation. And I guess you got to reschedule the honeymoon because, after all, 3 is a party now. Have the husband pay for the next trip, too, between the two of you, because he is such a nice guy and wants to make sure everyone is happy, right? So I guess you make sure he plans another trip for you, too.
Okay, Ernie in Kent says your husband is a dummy. If he makes up for it, then you can stay. If not, then you made a mistake. I agree with Ernie. Okay. 100%.
First of all, Ernie, let me tell you something. Ernie and everybody else, don't act like, fellas, y'all ain't done something just dumb.
Yeah.
Husbands, we've all done something that wasn't good. It wasn't smart. Oopsie.
No, Sandy in Olympia is saying the quiet part out loud because this is what you were referring to. The new groom is either gay or a jerk.
Can we not pretend that doing dumb things in a relationship is sole purview of the male species?
No, but in this scenario it was.
Yeah, most of the time, though.
No.
Sweeping
I don't believe
statement.
that.
Most of the time. All right, good stuff. But like I said, I went through it. Oh, I covered all my bases. All right, we got the 11 o'clock hour coming up. At 11:30, Ursula, we have Agree to Disagree. And we're going to see what stuff that you want to bring back. One topic at 11 o'clock is, remember last week we talked about the guys that were on the side of T-Mobile Park with the loud speakers and the bullhorn? We got updated information on that. Gee Ursula.
3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1. What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by mynorthwest.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
When the heat's in 11, cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. In the midst of a string of political attacks, FBI Director Kash Patel appeared before Congress. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar.
What I am asking for is that this rhetoric of blaming one side or the other stop. If you could convey that to the president, and that we actually work on things that are solutions. So could you commit to me, Mr. Patel, Director Patel, that you will do that?
Absolutely, Senator. The suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk will make a virtual court appearance today. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is threatening to revoke visas for anyone he says is cheering on such violence. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
He said America will not host foreigners who celebrate the death of our fellow citizens. This is a trend that we've seen from the State Department this year. We've seen thousands of student visas revoked, many of those pro-Palestine students. Also last month, they just began reviewing visas for any deportable grounds.
Luigi Mangione was in a New York courtroom this morning. He's accused of killing United Healthcare CEO. 2 state terrorism charges were dropped. Jacob Ware of the Council on Foreign Relations.
Domestic terrorism charges in this country are very controversial, and they're going to be very poignant now again, given the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk. There is plenty of energy to push for a domestic terrorism charge in this country, but this was not the case where a charge like this should have been tried.
The judge let stand the second-degree murder charges against Mangione. Israel's defense minister declared Gaza is burning as Israel's ground offensive began today in Gaza City. At the UN Human Rights Chief, Volker Turk.
Everyone wants an end to this. And what we see is a further escalation, which is totally and utterly unacceptable.
President Trump said today that Venezuela should stop sending gang members and people from prison to the United States. His comments, coming after his second strike against an alleged drug boat in recent weeks, raised more questions. Steve Elner is managing editor of Latin American Perspectives.
There's a general consensus that about 80% of the drugs coming up from South America arrive to the United States vis-a-vis the Pacific Ocean. So the question would be, why is there a deployment of nuclear-powered submarine warships, planes in the Caribbean?
CBS's Kelly O'Grady is monitoring reports of a new deal for Tik Tok's survival.
Is the algorithm part of this deal? That specific detail has not been talked about yet. But the president did just speak, and he said it's a deal like we haven't seen before.
Checking numbers on Wall Street, stocks are lower today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A hot and potentially hazy day today. Details coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. In Renton, the disabled vehicle may have been cleared from I-405 northbound or Sunset Boulevard. Travel time Renton to Bellevue is back down to 26 minutes now. The crash has been cleared from northbound I-5 near South 272nd Street. Travel time Federal Way to Seattle, 43 minutes, still longer than usual. Other travel times, Everett to Seattle, 28 minutes, Renton to Bellevue, 26. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. With temperatures in the 80s today, a red flag fire warning is in effect for parts of western Washington, and gusty winds could make things worse. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard.
A wind advisory for the Cascade foothills, and I started to think about this. All the trees still have leaves on it, and with gusts anywhere from 35 to 45, maybe even 50 for a few places, especially kind of mid to late morning through the afternoon, it's going to be strong.
2 brush fires in Seattle show how fast those flames can spread. Sunday's fire on Beacon Hill damaged 4 homes and sent 2 people to a hospital. Cooler weather is expected tomorrow. An arrest and murder charges now in the stabbing deaths of 2 women in Burien last week. Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says Marvin Ortiz Montesinos killed his girlfriend and then attacked her roommate who tried to stop him.
The girlfriend received 20 plus stab wounds. The roommate experienced 40. This was a pretty horrific murder.
The suspect is due in court tomorrow. The man accused of burglarizing the homes of Seattle area celebrities has pleaded not guilty to 10 felony charges.
Prosecutors say 29-year-old Patrick Maisonette broke into the homes of stars like Macklemore, Ichiro Suzuki, and Mariners pitcher Luis Castillo, even pepper spraying people inside. Maisonette was arrested last month and is being held on more than $2 million bail. Investigators say surveillance and cell phone data helped crack the case, with some stolen items recovered from a South Seattle jewelry store. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Hundreds of Seattle high school students walked out of classes yesterday demanding the district's drop plans to switch to 2 lunch periods. The district tells the Seattle Times the change is necessary to make sure students have adequate class and meal time. Students say having 2 lunches disrupts clubs and other social activities. The Mariners are first in the AL West. Fangraphs now give Seattle a 96% chance of making it to the postseason for the first time since 2022. KIRO 7 TV reports their odds of winning the division is close to 68%. You know why.
9-2 in the 8th inning. Everybody grow mustaches.
Maybe the team growing mustaches, or at the Etsy Witch or Cheetos. The Mariners meet the Royals in Kansas City this afternoon. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-80s. It is 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 11:30, we are going to do Agree to Disagree. And one of the things that we're going to ask, you're going to have to take away the fact that this is the University of Oregon's football coach, but we're going to play a clip that he said, and maybe he has some of the answers as to how we come together as a country. Or not. It could be that you end up rolling your eyes at him. But we'll see how that goes. 888-973-5476, 888-973. KIRO is our text line. Hello to all of you on YouTube. I understand we got y'all riled up over there. Again, as a reminder, too, if you missed any part of our show, you can always catch up, and I invite you either to listen to the podcast, or if you haven't already, download the KIRO Radio app, because you can take us along even when you're on vacation. Okay, let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So we talked about this last week, Gee, and we had some strong opinions about those street preachers with megaphones. If you've been to a Mariners game lately, you've heard them, and they blast at ear-splitting levels, and many fans say they are dangerously loud. And now the Seattle City Council is officially working with the Mariners to come up with some kind of legislation to address this problem. And the proposal would put new limits on amplified sound outside T-Mobile Park. So it doesn't just apply to the preachers. So here's here's going to be the thing. Because I was asking, does it apply to the buskers who use the little portable speakers? And the answer is yes. It could also apply to musicians. I love the guy who does all the drumming. Even those bicycle pedicabs that roll through blasting music. This is legislation that could affect all of those. Mm-hmm. And the Mariners are saying this isn't about silencing speech. It's just about the volume. And a Fox 13 report measured one preacher's megaphone at over 120 decibels. And to compare, the city law caps commercial noise at 60. So you have said it's really bad. You spend way more time around the stadiums than I do. But the exact rules are still being written. But for the first time, the city council is at the table with the team, and maybe something's going to change.
I just want to make sure I got this straight.
Yes.
I have two questions for you, Ursula. The first question is the reason that they are allowed to be there is because that's considered public property?
Well, I think it's free speech. I think it is public property. So they're not, and so they're not going to get them on the content of what they're doing. It's going to be on noise.
So it's public property.
Yes.
Okay. That's my second question is, let's just say I fell on my luck, times are hard, and I was unhoused. Am I allowed to just set up shop right there on that public property?
Okay, well, you're kind of so the reason you're asking that is, and I'm going to say, should you be able to? I mean, that you could make it a trespassing thing. Mm-hmm. Does it happen? Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you're supposed to move along, right? You're not supposed to. Yeah, right. You're not supposed to just camp there.
Right. 3. This question isn't for you. This is for everybody, and I don't even want you to answer the question. If the person that is standing there with the bullhorn was preaching and talking about Allah and Muslim teachings were coming out of the megaphone, would that person be allowed to still stay? You don't have to answer that question. We don't know that.
Step further, not just preaching Muslim teachings, but specifically calling for jihad or intifadas, because this guy is in people's faces saying you are going to burn in the fires of hell and all kinds of heinous stuff. So it is like the worst possible representation of anything that could even be close to considered Christianity.
But how they're going about this is not about the content of his speech, like I said, it's more about the decibels, mm-hmm. Right. And so that way you're not parsing out, okay, does this apply to this religion or not this religion? Can someone just yell profanities there if it has nothing to do with religion? It has to do with the noise level and whether that violates other people's rights. Right. So what are you thinking in terms of the potential of even the drummers or the people who use the little speakers?
Everybody got to go. Oh my. Everybody has to go. I don't.
Is that part of the charm?
No. When I go to the Mariner game, I promise you, I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, who's gonna play some drums for me?" I don't care. Get away. I'm coming to the Mariner game. Leave me in peace. As a matter of fact, I'm probably a little irritated because I just probably paid $170,000 to park.
Funny that you mentioned that.
You know what I mean?
We're about to talk about paying something else. But, okay, so you're saying you would just rather have a peaceful transition from your overpaid parking spot to the stadium.
I want the Gee and Ursula show to not be there. I want nobody to be there. I want everybody that's there. The only person I want standing there is the statue of Ken Griffey Jr. That's it. I don't want no loud talk. I just want to go to the game. And especially don't want to be going to the game.
No nothing?
If you are living with your lady and you're not married, you're going to have this happen to you. You're not going to be able to go to heaven. Man, would you shut up? Would you shut up?
Okay, but how? Okay, let's take away the preacher, even though I think they're extending it so that it's not just only targeting one preacher. It's all the noise.
We know
And
what
I
they're
would just-
targeting.
I know. But I would say that takes away some of the... I mean, if Chef is going to be a proponent of graffiti because it makes things interesting, I would argue that some of the hustle and bustle that goes on, whether it's street vendors, whether it's someone doing the music, I mean, I'm always putting the money in because I love it. I think it's almost like part of the entertainment going into the stadium.
Why is this even an issue, like, in the first place? Because there are cops all over. They watch those guys. Like, a decibel meter can be on a smartphone. You don't need some $1,000 device or a blue ribbon panel to study the issue. You just need somebody to walk by with a decibel meter and issue citations. And that would solve the problem. Why do we have to go through a public process to enforce the law when there are law enforcement officers right there? How about we just ask the officers, hey, could you do your job, please? Like, why would we have to lobby the city council?
Ursula, on the scale,
because people are complaining, and then B, the Mariners are complaining, and the Mariners are a very important constituent for the city of Seattle. That's
Ursula,
why.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does it bother you?
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
I remember I told you it really bothered you, and you convinced me that it should bother me.
What bothers you more, graffiti or this?
Graffiti bothers me big time, way more than the little inconvenience of hearing someone shouting something that I can just ignore. What I don't like, and where I was bending, is when people were saying they're shouting right at my kids. That's not cool. Like, me as an adult, I can take it. I'll just keep on walking.
Right.
But when you've got kids and they're showing graphic pictures and all that, I mean, this really is about the preacher or preachers. And they're just throwing everything. I love the musicians and the people just trying to do a little side hustle on your way in. And maybe I'm the only one. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, let's talk about some other form of entertainment, because the soundtrack of Seattle's hottest sport is about to get turned down. After months of noise complaints from neighbors, the city is shortening hours at some of its busiest outdoor pickleball courts. For example, at Gilman Playground, Laurelhurst Playfield, and Mount Baker Park. They're going to now allow you to play from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Weekends and holidays will start later, 9 a.m. They'll give it a little chance to sleep a little bit, but it'll still wrap up at 10. And if you ignore the rules, the pickleball players, could find the gates literally locked. The city of Seattle is also testing open play hours at Green Lake East. Man, if you've gone there, it used to be tennis courts galore. Now it is just pickleball everywhere. But what do you think? You cool with the shortened hours that start at 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yes.
I know.
It shouldn't go past that time.
I feel for the houses, though, because no one thought that pickleball was going to be all the craze. And if you have a house right next to a park, which I do,
and you live and work in Seattle. Winter Park? You're a unicorn, Ursula.
But getting a house near a park, you know that there are going to be things like baseballs flying over.
Yeah.
And I mean, one summer we had an entire bucket of baseballs because they just kept flying over the fence.
Okay.
It's gotten better. They've done some mitigation to help out with that. But you weren't expecting pickleball to be such a thing. And I understand now. I used to defend the pickleball players, but 10 p.m., even the shortened hours are pretty long.
Question, because maybe I don't know.
Yes.
Who's playing pickleball at 9, 10 o'clock at night?
If I would do it.
No, you wouldn't.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
No. You would not. And I love you to death, and I'm not trying to tell you what you do, what you should do and not do.
No.
You are not playing pickleball at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
I used to play tennis at 9 o'clock at night.
When? Not since we were doing the Gee Ursula Show.
Yeah, no, because I haven't been playing tennis since then.
Okay, so tell me the last time you played.
You know why I don't do it anymore?
Why?
Because I get up at 6 a.m.
There's such a demand for the courts. If they're lit, people are going to be on those.
Speaking of lit, what kind of lit?
No.
The court's lit or people lit?
is-
That's exactly what would be happening. People be lit.
All the pickleball players are going to tell you there aren't enough courts, even though they've been blowing up. I mean, they're putting in a lot of pickleball courts everywhere.
I just want to know when you played tennis at 10 o'clock
Oh,
at night.
Stephen and I used to do it all the time. I'm a night owl. I used to do it. I mean, if the lights were on, I'm playing late.
Yeah, tell the people how you was texting us at 12:30 in the morning.
And all you need to do is see these bags under my eyes. You know, I stay up way too late. Okay, let's move on. Let's squeeze in one more.
You can do it at a trot, you can do it at a gallop, you can do it real slow so your heart won't palpitate.
Hey,
just don't be late.
Give me some scones.
Okay, man, we went real old school on
Give me
this
some
one.
scones.
If you are thinking about a trip to the Puyallup for the Washington State Fair, you better have a lot of money with you.
How much money we talking about?
So this is from Fox 13. Love them. They went down for a price check, and they found that the average couple could expect to spend nearly $200. That's easy. Family of four, $300. So they added up the cost. 2 adult tickets and general parking, that's just $62 right there. Lunch for 2. If you get a barbecue plate and chicken with fries, plus a Coke and a slushie, that was $70. Add in only 3 rides apiece and 1 round of balloon darts, and that was another $60. So,
You don't have to promptly ask me a question. You already know what my answer will be.
Well, you said you were going to go to Puyallup, also known as the Washington State Fair.
Lillian going this weekend.
Okay.
She going with her friends.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm glad that she doesn't require me to go. I'm not going. I got stuff to do. Number one, but number two, it's getting outrageous. All of these fairs. I went up north. I told you guys when I went up to the night market in Richmond, up there in
beautiful
BC, Richmond, BC, and the games were $10 Canadian. Wait, what?
I know, and the games take around 10 seconds.
10 seconds. What happens to the times of $2 games, $1 game, $10 games?
They need to pay their workers minimum wage too.
Well, it's like $7 with the current exchange rate, but still, carnies have always been grifters.
Yeah, but now let's talk about these food festivals, right?
Chef.
The food festivals now, you go there, you eat 2-3 places, and you got to take a loan out. It's a lot of money to eat at these places.
If you think about it, what's the cost of a game? What's the cost of going to a Mariners game with all the food? I was just at the Mariners game last week, and
where was you at, though?
Drink. Okay, I got it.
Where were you at?
You mean
Matter of fact, the last
nice seats? I got free
the
tickets.
last sporting events you've been at, Ursula, you've been in floor seats, you've been in suites. I mean, you want to talk about me all the time. Tell the people right now.
Yeah,
Tell the people how you live.
My one game, that was a gift. Thank you, Cool Cedar Creek Casino, for giving me the Mariners tickets. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That actually cost me a lot.
How about your storm?
I was not free.
How about your oh yeah.
My storm game. My storm game. Yeah, it was
Floor
a friend
seats?
who invited me. Again. Yeah, you try to paint me as someone who is hoity-toity. No, those are I went to one Sounders game, the storm game. I love that. But again, I was invited. My point being, if I didn't get invited, I mean, lucky me, but it's something that unfortunately it's just getting so expensive.
Yeah. It really is. And bring this back and be serious about it. $300 for a family of 4 to go to the Puyallup Fair. That's crazy. That's nuts. And again, this is what is happening to a lot of working class families across the country is they can't do simple things like that. They have to make a choice. Hey, Steve, Sarah, back to school shopping had to happen, so we can't do both. We can't do back to school shopping and go to the Puyallup Fair.
You know what's messed up too is they'll give out tickets to kids at school, right? So one free child's ticket to the Washington State Fair. And then you got kids like Matthew coming home like, Dad, let's go to the fair. That sounds amazing. And then you have to sit down with him and be like, Matthew, if we went down there with our budget for the day, you would probably be able to have a slushie and you could play one game and be on one ride. And like, that just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many families can just drop three bills?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're just about to take a break here, but I want to let you know some breaking news. We are just seeing now that the district attorney is speaking to the media in Provo, Utah, and the suspect in the murder of Charlie Kirk has now been charged with aggravated murder. It is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. He also faces obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and some other charges as well. The district attorney saying that Charlie Kirk was targeted because of politics. We'll have a lot more coming up in our newscast here at the bottom of the hour, but just wanted to make sure that you had the very latest on that. We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Now that's how you do it.
He's going left side. He's got some blocking. He turns upfield. He's down inside the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks.
We're all in a good mood this morning because of all the great sports action yesterday.
An impressive road victory in Pittsburgh earns the Hawks their first win on the season.
I mean, taking care of business. What'd you say?
Yesterday's game gave me more hope in what we can do as a team. I love this.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
I know firsthand what a big difference Bathfitter Northwest can make. We were getting my mother-in-law's house ready for the rental market. The bathroom needed serious help, as in it hadn't been updated since it was built in the 1950s. Bathfitter's designer came right over, walked me through all the many, many different options that they have, and she helped pick out the perfect fixtures. The installation was beautiful, clean, fast, and top quality with a lifetime warranty. Whether you are updating for your family or maybe you are refreshing a property, Bathfitter Northwest makes it so simple. And right now, for those of you who are finding it much more challenging to get in and out of your tub, it isn't as easy as it used to be. Well, Bathfitter Northwest can transform your tub into a safe, stylish walk-in shower, usually in just one day. And what I love about Bathfitter Northwest, they are local. They're invested in our community. They're trusted by families all across Western Washington. Bathfitter is celebrating a big milestone, 42,000 installations in this area. And to celebrate, they're offering payments as low as $125 a month. Call Bathfitter or visit BathfitterNW.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you don't.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch. Charges have just been announced in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk last week.
I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1. Aggravated murder.
Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. Kirk is charged with 7 criminal counts total.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Kirk is set to make his first court appearance this afternoon, or the suspect is set to make his first court appearance. Developments in the case against Luigi Mangione, who's accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO last year. He's still charged with second-degree murder, but the judge in the case dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Mangione, saying the evidence behind them was legally insufficient. A Federal Way homeowner is demanding answers after a car crashed through his backyard Saturday night. David Tappan tells KIRO 7 TV the car narrowly missed children and pets.
It's stuff. I get that. The main thing is nobody was hurt, nobody was killed, and I'm very, very happy about that. But I'm very disappointed on how this was processed. They blew it off.
He says the car barreled through his fence, destroying his deck, gazebo, and hot tub. The driver sustained minor injuries and was cited for reckless driving. A railroad crossing in Sumner is shut down after an Amtrak train slammed into a man's SUV yesterday. More from KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
The SUV was split in two, one half ending up about a block down the tracks.
It's like something out of a movie that you don't want to see in person.
Employees from the auto dealership across the street rushed in to help. The driver, a man in his 20s, was the only one in the vehicle.
We didn't think he was alive, but then he kind of breathed a little bit, and so that changed everything.
Witnesses say, thankfully, an off-duty paramedic was right there.
The driver's hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Hollywood legend Robert Redford has died. Redford's breakout role was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I'll jump first. Nope.
Then you jump first. No, I said, what's the matter with you? I can't swim!
He followed that with a string of hits in the 1970s, including The Candidate, The Sting, for which he won an Oscar, 3 Days of the Condor, and All the President's Men. Redford was 89. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 103 points, NASDAQ off 7. KIRO News Radio traffic, here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. Northbound 405 through Renton is slow, starting in South Center up to Northeast 44th near the VMAC as we recover from an earlier stall, which is cleared. We also have road work in the S-curves adding to the slowdown. South Center to Bellevue has about a 10-minute delay, taking you right around a half hour. North 5 heading into Seattle is unusually heavy, approaching Albro up to I-90. South Center to Seattle is a half hour. That's double the norm. South 5 has a little crowding from Northgate into the U District. Linwood to Seattle, just under a 20-minute commute. Eastbound 18 over Tiger Mountain is slow from the Summit over to I-90. And the rest of this commute looking good with normal drive times. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-80s. It's 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It is warming up already outside, and we're cooking inside here, too. Text line 888-973-5476, 888-973.
What you going to do after work?
KIRO. Oh, stop it. I want to be on a boat for the first time all summer long on the hottest day of
September.
What is it now? The 16th.
Which friend you going
Sonia,
with?
of course. Man. Okay. Hey, but right now it is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
It has been a turbulent week in America. Tensions have been high. There's been a lot of hateful back and forth and finger pointing, but a football coach, Dan Lanning at the University of Oregon, thinks that he knows what could heal America.
The U.S. could learn a lot from our locker room. I think the people in this world could learn a lot from our locker room. You walk in that locker room, you got guys of different races, guys of different backgrounds, different religions, and you got a team that loves each other. Like tons of differences, where they come from, what they deal with, and ultimately you got a team that loves each other. And I think we're missing some of that in our country. You know, you talk about, you recently found out like Charlie, Kirk was a Oregon fan, right? I didn't know that. I hurt for his wife, Erica, and their kids. Like that sort of evil should never exist in our country. And that's what it is. It's evil. Like, but I remember having to explain that to my family, right? I remember sitting down with my kids and explaining what happened. And they're talking about people talking about it at school, and it's just sad, right? But it's just as sad, you know, every day it seems like we deal with some sort of violence that's going on in our country, whether it's, you know, school kids in Colorado or kids in Minnesota at churches. I mean, life matters. You know, and I think we've lost sight of that. But I wish the world could learn a little bit of something from our locker room, because we got a bunch of people with differences, and what you got in there is a bunch of people that love there. And
okay, so I actually shared that with you guys, and I said, "What do you think about what he says?"
I rolled my eyes.
And you rolled your eyes.
And I'll tell you
I want to take out the part about him being the Oregon coach, because I think that already works against him in this area.
That's not what I'm rolling my eyes about.
Okay. Now, have you ever said that you learn so much about life by being on a team, football in particular?
Boom. That's why I rolled my eyes.
Okay.
I rolled my eyes because he's talking about his locker room. Get over yourself, bro. That's sports. Your locker room is just like most locker rooms across the country.
But I don't think it's like specifically about Oregon's locker room.
No,
I think it was more like this is an idea of.
He said it 3 times.
I know.
He said people can learn from our locker room.
Because that's what he. Okay, let's take out that part. But the idea of, hey, we're all working towards some common goal. Okay, so let's take out the Oregon part that it's about his team. Let's talk about, can we learn about something when it comes to, instead of this competition that we're in right now, whose side is worse? How about let's all work toward a common goal, and that is to fight evil. That is to fight what is wrong. And I get it that again, once again, I am looking at it with Pollyanna rose-colored glasses. Okay, and someone said a lot of people don't even know what this whole Pollyanna thinks. overly optimistic. But I like the idea of remembering we're in this together. Like, where do we go from here, and what can we learn from what many of us, most of us, have been involved with, which is teams.
Yeah. First, before I get into this, I want to just say this to you. I want to look you dead in your eyes.
Yeah.
I apologize that you have to do a show with me every day.
Why?
Because it would probably be easier if I take some of these topics and just mail it in and just be like, yeah, it's great. Yep, Ursula, I did say that. I did say sports are a healer. Sports do so much. Sports has, as a matter of fact, you go through the 50s and 60s and 70s and what sports has done. However, sports is at a standstill right now. Let me explain.
Okay.
Sports today is not doing what sports in the 60s and 70s did. Today, question for all of you listening right now, how many players in college football are homosexual?
Statistically, what has been revealed and openly,
good call. Yep,
not very high, not a high number.
Right?
I think we could put it on like on
zero,
one hand. Yeah.
Zero coaches.
I don't think that's the reality.
Zero coaches have come out at all. So when I say sports is doing damage sometimes, sure. I agree. Yes, I come up with sports. Sports has been my life. It has done so much.
Yes.
I learned how to deal with different cultures and backgrounds from sports. It has been fantastic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Dan Lanning, head coach of Oregon, it is not just your locker room. It is every locker room. But right now, locker rooms, I feel like, are not pushing and doing what they used to in the past because they don't have an environment that says to someone, hey, you can come out and tell your truth. In the NBA, how many head coaches, assistant coaches identify and tell the world they're homosexual? Zero. In the NFL, how many head coaches or assistant coaches or anybody? Zero.
Yeah,
so
you're making a good point.
Sports today?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all hurting. So we need you to come back and be what you used to be in the 50s and 60s. We need for the, who was my man Lombardi. Lombardi was the first one. Sports was bringing, hey, I don't believe to have black football players. They were pushing stuff forward back then. It's at a standstill today. That's why I apologize to you.
No, I think you make fantastic points. Tramal and Federal Way texted in and said, imagine being a trans person, Ursula. Tramal, think about that often. And I hope that would come through in the conversations that we have had on this show and how we try to stick up for the trans community, which we believe is under attack all the time. So
I think he has a point when it comes to pulling for the same purpose.
Yes.
But at the same time, his players, everyone there has the same incentive to win and do their best for each other. Now, Dan, if you told me that in your locker room, you were sitting down with the teammates and you were having these honest, critical conversations from diverse people, all different kinds of backgrounds, and actually hashing that out with one another, I would say, okay, let me see what that conversation looks like and how you made that work. Because, I mean, it absolutely benefits us all to be around people from different backgrounds.
But I think that's what he's saying.
But if we can't have honest conversations while we're around each other, it's very difficult to move past things.
Yeah, and I don't know what
even
kind
if you can humanize the fact that, I know this guy, like, they're cool.
I don't know what kind of conversations they have in their locker room.
Gee, how many political conversations come up in locker rooms?
Oh, they come up.
Yeah,
I
was going to say.
Oh, they come up. They just don't be made public. Now, that's true.
Yes.
That comes up.
So the point being, ultimately, no matter if they're coming at from different directions, they still have to work toward a common goal. And I guess that's the only thing I'm thinking. Is there a takeaway from that?
There's one sports. Thank you, Maureen, in the 253. There's one sports group that when it comes to this group, there's nobody that comes close.
You're wondering, how come?
The WNBA
why it feels. Chef, you're playing audio.
Sorry.
The WNBA, they are the trendsetters.
Yes.
They are the leaders. No, they are unafraid. They come out and they talk it and they walk it.
Yes. And the Seattle Storm will do.
Oh, what?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and specifically, we have one right here in our community.
I mean,
yes.
the WNBA will say things that the NFL, NBA, MLB would never say.
Mm-hmm. Great points.
That's good conversation, Ursula. But again,
don't apologize for doing a show.
I
with
do
me.
love doing a show with you.
I choose to do a show with you.
Yeah. Because sometimes I go off on a little tangent.
Well, that too.
All right. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
I'm a repeat customer of Carter Subaru because they don't just sell cars. They know how to treat their customers like family. From the moment you walk in, you feel it. There's no pressure, no gimmicks, just genuine people who care about finding the right car for you. And Carter Subaru isn't just any dealership. It is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with the largest selection of Subarus in our state. That means you have more choices than anywhere else. And in fact, right now, there are more than 250 Subaru Crosstreks available, starting at just 1.9% financing for 48 months on approved credit. Whether you're commuting or you're adventuring, or like me, you just want a reliable ride that's going to last you for many, many years, Carter Subaru has the perfect Subaru waiting for you. So visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard, or shop anytime online at cartersubaru.com. Carter Subaru, the place where customers are treated like family.
On approved credit, documentary service fee may be added to the sale or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. Max amount finance is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 9/30/25.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Gee, Scott here. I recently spoke with my good friend, Jonathan from DUI Heroes, about how his team treat new clients. He told me that he always recognizes the human being behind the charge and how they treat them the way that we all want to be treated. He and his team take care of the individual, the human being, throughout the entire process. People do make mistakes, so if you or a loved one has been accused of DUI, call DUI Heroes and speak to a lawyer today. DUI Heroes, 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
I just learned 10% of our electricity in Washington comes from nuclear energy.
I've heard it's reliable and has a small footprint, but what about the waste?
It's not what you might think. No overflowing dumpsters or leaking barrels. Used fuel is safely stored in solid form after powering homes, schools, and businesses for years. All nuclear power plants in the U.S. store their used fuel responsibly to protect the environment.
Where can I learn more?
You can learn about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com. Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. To celebrate, Bathfitter's offering payments as low as $125 a month. Ursula Reutin here. I chose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, and every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This special offer won't last.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Meet Sarah. She tried one of those online weight loss programs, filled out a form, got a prescription, and a few weeks later she felt dizzy, weak, and frustrated. No one was checking in. No one was making sure the plan was safe for her body. That's when she turned to Longevity Medical Clinics. Our medically supervised GLP-1 program helped Sarah lose weight safely while we monitored her progress every step of the way. Today, she feels healthier, stronger, and more confident than ever. At Longevity Medical Clinics, we believe weight loss isn't just about dropping pounds. It's about restoring your health with real doctors, real monitoring, and a plan that works for your body. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Safe, supported, life-changing. lmclinic.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. It's now time for text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Ursula, start us out.
I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Yes, I know. News Boss is closed. So one of the questions we asked is, how does anyone win? Maybe it's the question I asked. How does anyone win when both sides are consumed with blaming the other for the sad state of this country? 425 said, Gee and Ursula, I'm praying for you all. You guys are telling the truth, and it's sad that so many people don't want to hear it. Stay strong and be safe. 206 said, respect to you, Gee, Ursula, and Chef. Thank you for speaking truth in the face of utter animosity, bigotry, hatred beyond what I could have ever imagined as our reality. We were all told what life was going to be like if President Trump won. He did, and we're living it and dying because of it. I don't know how we survive as a country, as Americans, as even individuals on any side of the debate. So sad that conversations are no longer possible in this political arena. Then there was 360 who said the bad side is all those who choose violence to settle a disagreement. Wholeheartedly agree.
Well,
go ahead.
You want to stay on that? When you get done with that one, I'll go with the scenarios and conversation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I got something for that.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Sure. Does it have to do with this?
No. After today's scenario was about someone that just got married and their husband that they married on the honeymoon invited the best friend.
Oh.
On the honeymoon. 253 says, the friend on honeymoon conversation, I lived this, except it was our 10-year anniversary. My two brothers and I planned a golf trip to Arizona over a 10-year anniversary. Attendee list was me, my wifey, two bros, and their wives. Then my mom and dad. Hilarious, it all went down. Within 2 days of the 5-day trip, I knew it was a horrible idea. Hopefully, he will realize it sooner than later.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to go back to the algorithm discussion that we had.
Okay.
Are we causing an even bigger divide because of these algorithms?
Yeah.
360, I love this. 360 says, I'm far right and I listen to y'all every day. I like to hear all the views of everybody and I try to understand other perspectives. David said, I have listened to your show since day one. I am a delivery driver, so I listen daily. I am a Christian conservative, and I listen to your show to get a different viewpoint from what I'm fed in my algorithms. I sometimes scream at my radio because I disagree with you so much. But Ursula said how I feel perfectly. And by the way, I'm a first-time texter, to which we say, thank you, David. And then 509 said, MAGA supporter here, daily listener, because you two are part of what makes America great. Thank you. And then Janice in Seattle, I love this. I consider myself a staunch conservative and a supporter of President Trump. I choose to listen to this program each and every day because I enjoy listening to those that both agree and disagree with my viewpoint. I think it's imperative to listen and hear others with opposing viewpoints. It's always shocking to me how uncomfortable others are with this. It is really the only way we will ever be able to bridge what seems like an unbridgeable gap today.
Before you move on, tomorrow or the next day, we keep saying both sides. My question to everyone is when we say both sides, because both sides 10 years ago or in 2012 when you had Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, both sides. When we say both sides, what is the both sides now?
Well, I also ask...
It's a heavy question.
It's a heavy question, and I think it's different for each person when they answer that. But the other part of all of this is we only focus on the extremes. What happens to all of us, those of us who are somewhere in the middle? Why are we not hearing more of that?
Yeah. Like I said, both sides. We should look into that. What do we talk about both sides? All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What do you got?
And this is an unknown author's quote, but it's very apropos for what our discussions were today. It is easy to find reasons for division between people. Finding common ground is a lot harder, but it is a big step toward happiness.
That's a good one. Good
Big
stuff.
challenge.
Brother Nick.
Well, now the M's will face their biggest foe, and that's the road, where they've seemed to have a harder time to find their winning flow. So I'm hoping they can get the travel monkey off their back, just like fans needing those megaphones to give their ears some slack. Though I'd be careful where you want those megaphones to go, because they might try pickleball courts for their new Ground Neighbors show, especially if some of those new lights are installed for those later. They might find no end on their territory.
Good stuff. Okay, Ursula, listen. You enjoy yourself.
You too.
Your time on the boat.
Yeah, you too. Last time I was on this boat.
Yeah.
Remember I told you the story about the float plane landing strip on Lake Union and how we found ourselves in Yes, that's my friend.
All right. Sonia, be on your best behavior, my friend. Thanks, Ursula. Good show. See you tomorrow. Are you going to show up to work tomorrow?
Of course.
All right, just making sure.
Why wouldn't I?
Chef, thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Nick, thank you.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Look, y'all, tomorrow's Wednesday. We get to do it again. We appreciate you for rocking with us. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
See the girl with the diamond ring? She knows how to shake that thing all right now. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Tell your mama.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio App.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 to